So, egg spoon. I'm going to start off with 20 inches of 8mm square for the handle, which I'm going to mark at obviously the centre, and then 2.5 either side. I want a 5-inch twist. Get rid of that one. Now I'm going to put a very, very basic twist in, basically because it's going to be with food and I don't want anything complicated that food's going to get trapped in, but I want a bit of decoration, so I'm just going to put a really simple twist that can be cleaned very easily. Now if you don't know what an egg spoon is, you can Google it, but basically you can cook an egg over a fire pit or an open fire, or even your gas hob in your kitchen. If you want the history of it, as I say, Google it. So we're going to put, I think we'll put 2 twists in here, or 2 revolutions. There's 1, 1.5, 2. Yeah, that looks quite nice. Simple but effective. Look at that, nice. Come on, focus, you feckin' thing. It's the light, I think, in here isn't good enough. Come on, focus. Really need to get some better lights in here. Come on, focus. There we go. There we go. Nice even twist. You can't do that doing that hot. Only problem is we're a little bit bent. So let's straighten that out. Again, very easy to do. If you haven't got an anvil, you can do it in any orifice that's firmly bolted down, or your vise, or wherever you like. A little tweak here and there. Fortunately, the actual twist itself is fairly straight, so I'm only having to pull it around from the junctions of the twist. We're nearly there, I think. Another little tweak or 2. I think that's about it. That'll do for me. If you can see that, much better. Yeah, that'll do. So now we can do the ends. So for a hook, I'm just going to draw this out to about, I don't know, it's all done by eye, about 3 inches, something like that. Go from square to round, and then just put a little sort of shepherd's crook hook on the end. Fairly basic. This is very, very basic handle, really. I don't want anything too fancy. Now this one has actually been commissioned, which is why I'm making the bowl out of stainless steel, because that's what was requested. I've made a few of these already, but I made them with just plain steel bowls, and they've come up a treat. I didn't use square for the handles. I used, what did I use? 12 by 6 for the other ones, which makes the twist look a little bit chunkier. If you want to have a look, go and have a look on my Etsy shop. They're still there. They are at the current moment. Now I'm doing this one, as I say, as a commission. A lady got on to Jeffrey Santo, and he's not doing anything at the moment. He's moving shop and he's got a lot on at the moment. So he suggested that she get in touch with me, and as she's in my country, it seemed quite a sensible idea. So I made the first 2 just to try it out, because I'd never made one before, never even heard of one before, until she got on to me. and as I say, she wanted a stainless bowl, so I've ordered some bits, and this is the making of it. Just rounding that off. Not going too thin, I don't want a weedy little hook. I want something fairly chunky still. Take the hammer marks out as it's getting colder. I think that'll do it. Come on, focus. Yay. That'll do for me. I'll start with the little hook. Keep the steel moving so you don't get any flats on it, or as few flats as possible. Just cooling out the very tip so that I can actually hit the very tip without damaging it, and bring it round. Just putting a set in it. You could always put the set in first, a lot of people do. There we go, we're getting there. Again, just cooled out the tip a little bit so I don't damage it. It tends to get very hot very quickly when you've got that little nibble on the end when you're heating, and it's very easy to burn it off if you're not careful while you're trying to heat the rest of it. Nearly there, I think that's almost it. It's a little bit oblongy, I want to try and round it off a bit more. Just being very gentle again, trying not to put too many flats in it. Otherwise you just destroy all the work you've done rounding it off. Nearly there. I think that'll do it. Let's have a little look. Come on, yeah, there we go. Yeah, that'll do me. Alright, now I've come around the other side of the anvil because I've got a rounded corner there. And I don't want a sharp edge which could fracture and break, so I want a nice rounded transition. You can see there off that edge. I'm not going to do too much to this. I'm literally just going to round it off because it might need to be tweaked around when it has to fit to the bowl, so I'm not going to fuss around with it too much. I think that'll probably do it. There you go. Nothing fancy. As I say, just leave that, and it might need tweaking when I put it on the bowl. It might not, but there's no point mucking about with it now until I've made the bowls. So there's a very simple plain handle. Just got a little bit of features in it. Just so it's not too plain. And then I shall rivet that on to the bowl. So let's get on with the bowl. As I say, I made some steel ones, and I made up this ring. It's just a 16mm round. Again, suggested by Jeffrey. He made one, so I thought, works for him, I'll make myself one. Just welded onto a bit of scrap steel. These are the discs I've got. Now the steel ones I cut out myself, but these were on the internet already cut, laser cut or plasma cut, so I just ordered a couple of them. Bang on size. They're 6 inches. The steel ones I did, I think, were about 5.5, slightly smaller. And I'm going to use my ordinary shoeing hammer, turning hammer, rounding hammer, whatever you like to call it, with the rounded end obviously, and see how we get on. And so the other ones I made were, I think they were about 5.5, 5.25, something like that, and they came out perfect. But they didn't have any 5.5-inch discs on the internet, so I thought 6-inch will do. Don't think 1/4 inch either way is going to make a lot of difference. Plus you can crack a bigger egg in it. I've yet to actually try one of these, to actually cook an egg in it. We haven't got an open fire, we haven't got gas hob, we haven't got a barbecue, we don't do open fires basically, so it's a bit tricky to do. Next time we go around to a friend's that's got a fire pit, I might take it with me and see if we can have a go. Now I'm not hitting actually on the ring, I'm hitting just inside it. I just want to push it down. I don't want to stretch it too much or get too many dents in it. So I'm just trying to persuade it down around the edge. I'm just going to put some clamps on there as well. Blooming things dancing about all over the place. I think it's basically because the weld isn't sitting down in the hardy hole properly where I welded it to the bottom of the plate. So it's got a bit of a dance on it. That's better. I'm not hitting too hard at any one time because again I don't want to stretch it and get big dents and dings and lumps sticking out that are going to be difficult to sand out, because these I'm going to have to try and polish, get up to a nice shine, whereas the steel ones I literally just took the scale off after I'd forged them like this and left them like that with this just metal finish with the scale off. But so this customer wants shiny shiny. Again, if you go gently you'll find it comes down quite evenly and you don't have to do too much mucking about afterwards to try and put right any irregularities. See, that's about right. I'm going to cool it on that one. When that cools down I'm just going to go around cold and try and take out any lumps. In the meantime, it's my new touch mark. It's exactly the same as the old one but much smaller. This is down to about just over 8mm I think, or about 8mm out of 16mm bar, and I've put this sleeve on it so that I can put it easily into the fly press. I can't remember what steel it is, but it's this pretty hard stuff. I think it might be H13, I can't remember what he said, but it works hot and cold, and in the fly press it works a treat. Now it's only just going to fit on this bit of 8mm, so I want to try and make sure I'm getting it pretty much spot on, but I'm still doing it by eye. There you go. You see how much that bent? There it is. Just fits. Only just. But my other one wouldn't have fitted on there at all. Nice little hook, bit of twist. Done. Bob's your uncle. So now these have cooled down while I was doing that. There are some little irregularities around the edge, although you can see it looks pretty good. So I'm just going to, this time I am going to use the edge of the bar and just try and knock these down into, these bloody clamps back on, it's dancing again. Yeah, just try and get the irregularities out of that edge. Again, not hitting it particularly hard, just enough to tickle those edges around. Clamps are going again. I think we're pretty much there. Alright, so I've done them both now. Now I've got to try and clean them up. And say, on the steel ones it's just a case of getting rid of the scale, but these, it's going to be a bit tricky. I've got an 80 grit belt on there and it's hardly touching it. Sorry about the lighting. Again, this is the back of the shop, it's real dim over here, but that's really struggling. Obviously you can get discs and belts and stuff specifically for stainless, but of course I haven't got any because I don't use stainless a lot, so I'm having to make do with what I've got, and it's struggling a bit. You can see there it's getting there, but it's nowhere near tearing it off like I expected it to, or I was hoping it would. And again, getting on the insides a bit tricky. So that didn't work very well, so I've got a ceramic disc on here and that's working a little bit better. So I'm trying to take out any real nasty lumps and bumps, and getting inside is, as I say, a little bit tricky. Again, being stainless, I can't hold it down anyway. I've got some really powerful magnets that would have held it if it had been steel, but obviously it's not, so we're getting there. It's still nowhere near what I'd like. Let's try some Scotch-Brite, see if that does anything. Not a lot. Different grade. Still not a lot. So we're slowly getting there, but it's laborious. I've cut this video down a hell of a lot from this polishing aspect. Now I've got these ordinary sanding discs which I'm going to try and get in there and do the outside with. I've got I think these are 320 and I'll go down to 600 and see how that goes. It's definitely taking it off, but stainless is such tough stuff. You really need specialist discs. That's not too bad. Anyway, I'm going to get over on the Scotch-Brite wheel and then the polishing mop and see how we get on. So I've been hours on the polishing mop, the Scotch-Brite wheel, and you can see it's made quite a bit of difference, but it's still not brilliant. I am never doing another one of these out of stainless steel. Trust me. Because at the end of the day, once it's been seasoned and you've got it in the fire a few times, you'll never know what it was like to start with. So, but anyway, it's a learning curve. I now know not to do stainless again, because it's just taken me hours and hours and hours to get that stage, and it's, as I say, it's not brilliant, but there you go. That's what the customer wanted, so that's what she's got. So now I'm going to try and rivet the handles on. Now I just need to put a bit of shape in this end, a bit of a dish. I'm just going to do that in the jaws of the vise with a cross pane. Just give it a little few taps. Let's try it on the dish. Have a little look. I don't know if you'll be able to see if I can hold it properly. I've actually got a bit too much now, too full. You can see that, yeah. So I'm going to just take that out. Little tap on the anvil. That's much better. That'll do for now. That'll pull in nicely when I rivet it. So I've shaped them both to try and fit on the bowls. I'll just mark the rivet holes. I'm going to put 2 rivets in each. That should be plenty. Don't think I've quite got enough room for 3. That drill bit's a bit blunt. Yeah. He's struggling. Let's change that out. Try that one. Oh, that's better. Alright, now put the rivet size through. It's just over 5mm. About 5¼ mm. I don't know why, but that's the size of the rivets. Do the other one quickly. Now, I'll just quickly clamp that on roughly in place. I'm just spotting it through the holes. Now this is a bit of a mistake. I should have drilled that one hole and put the rivet in to drill the second one, but of course I'm not, and it doesn't quite line up straight, which is a bit of a pain, which I don't notice obviously until I've riveted it all together. But hey ho, good job it's not the one I'm sending out. This is the one that's not quite as good. I might end up keeping this one for myself. Oh, that's hard stuff. I don't know if any of you drill stainless a lot. I don't very often, but one thing I do know is that you need to put the drill through that you're going to finish with. Everything else I normally pilot, then a bigger one, then a bigger one if it's a big hole, or like you saw me do through the handles. But with stainless you want to go through with the final size if you can straight away, because it can chew drills up a treat. It really can. I'm just going to countersink the back so I can countersink the rivets inside. Concentration on that face. Alright, I think we're just about there. See if I can get the rivets through now. No, they're a bit tight, so I'm going to have to tap them through. Let's see if I can. Right, I've tapped them through and pushed them through the hole. I'm just going to seat them now on the rivet set. Make sure they're sitting home. Now again, what I should have done, I always learn on after the first one, I'm going to grind them down, but what I should have done was just cut them down before I even started. Makes life much easier. I was trying to get this grinder in there as a pain. I managed to catch the bowl. Again, good job. Oh, and nearly pull the camera over. Oh, come on, Gary, get your act together. Now I've put the camera in a completely the wrong place, and I'm going to cover the lens in sparks. You moron. Never mind. Good job it's an oldish camera. Anyway, we've got there. We've shortened the rivets. Now let's set them down. Doesn't take much. Use the flat to start with, and then I'll just peen them over with the ball peen at the end, just to really seat them down into the countersink. And then I shall sand over that, or grind over it, or Scotch Brite or whatever, just to tidy that up in there, and then repolish it, and that will look much better. And as you can see, that's sat down quite nicely at the back there. There's tiny little bit of a gap, but not much there. It's sat down basically okay. Right, so this is the... Now, which one's this? This is a slightly better one, I think. Can't remember now. I've done them both anyway, but yeah, I think this is a slightly better one. This is the one that's going out to the client. Now, I'm not going to finish it with anything. I'm not going to, because the two I made in steel, I seasoned them. These I'm not going to touch. I'm not even going to put wax, oil, anything on it, because apparently the person it's going to is vegan. So I don't want to be responsible for putting anything that she doesn't like on it. So I shall just tell them they've got to get something on it a bit quick on that handle, otherwise that might go rusty. And to get it seasoned. There you go, that's it. Quite pleased with it, but I definitely won't be doing another one in stainless steel. I really won't. There's no actual need for it to be stainless. You know, cast iron pans, once they're seasoned, last a treat. So anyway, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.